Hello, everyone. Welcome back to yet another political episode. So, we have news regarding Joe Biden's ability to perform, and apparently, it's so bad he can't even be a convicted felon. Wow. Like, take a look at these 2024 Trump versus Biden polls. Realistically, Biden gained in in some polling. You'll see he gained in a morning consult poll, but he gained and also gained in a Yahoo poll. And as we can see here, Trump made his drop, I want to believe. This is from the conviction, but it's going to go back up again. And I would say it's not so much they're going for Biden. It's just because a lot of people that polled for Trump are going down because they don't know what to think about the issue. Trump being convicted. A lot of people have a problem with voting for a convicted felon, even if they have zero idea of what he's being convicted about. And I think that is something that Republicans need to kind of be concerned about, if you will. But I think Donald Trump is doing an amazing job pushing the narrative that this thing is a witch hunt against him. And it is. It 100% is. Because think about it, guys. Democrats knew they screwed it up. They screwed it from day one. From Afghanistan to Ukraine, the border, gas prices, Israel Hamas, inflation, the economy. They knew they screwed it. So, and they knew Joe Biden. This isn't his fault, by the way. Joe Biden. I'm coming to Joe Biden's defense for once. Oh, this isn't his fault, but he's old. We all get old, but some part I want to blame Mr. Biden. Joe Biden should know himself. Actually, I don't think he is cognitively able to even check himself. But you should know that you're too old. The Department of Justice has technically labeled this guy cognitively disabled. What does that mean? That means you are not mentally capable. Disabled means you are unable to perform certain expectations made. And this isn't to antagonize the word disabled, because the next thing I know, we'll have liberal media utilizing the word disabled, like liberals in the comments. Oh, you're against disabled people. No, 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 no. That's not what I said. You are unable to perform certain expectations, meaning if someone's in a wheelchair, do you think they can climb up the stairs? No, they can't perform that expectation. So that's what disabled means. That's not a bad thing, but when it comes to Joe Biden, he needs to recognize his disability. Okay, I am unable to perform the duties as president of the United States because of my cognitive disability. I am old. I have dementia. Let's see. He's also having some medical issues like skin cancer, I believe. He can't even remember his own son, Beau Biden, the Attorney General of Delaware, who died from cancer back when he was vice president. He doesn't know that. He thinks he died in Iraq. Heck, I don't. I think I don't. This next thing you know, he will totally forget about the Iraq War. He'll probably start thinking that Saddam Hussein's still in power. I mean, this guy. This guy has a problem when he starts pointing out the people from Egypt, like people from that are dead, like the president from Egypt. I don't know if it would be hilarious if he said Nasser, Gamal Nasser, but I know for a fact it's not Nasser, but I don't know what leader from Egypt. Let me know down in the comments. But yes, he said this president from Egypt, prime minister, I don't care. Very, very important guy in Egypt. Egypt would know. But he says so and so, and this guy's a long time gone. He's a goner. He's gone. He's in the grave. We know he's not alive. So we're not shocked that Joe Biden met him. We're shocked that Joe Biden thinks he met him. If Joe Biden's so excited to die, no, I'm kind of joking. But if I'm just saying, comes to show, like, this guy doesn't want to work. Give the man a break. He can't wait to meet his old dead leaders in the afterlife. Give this guy a break. The point is, yes, we expect these stories from people in not mental hospitals, if you will, but memory care. Memory care. I have a friend, and her mom is going into memory care right now. And she's cognitively better than Joe Biden. She's on oxygen, but I think she's like Biden's age, like probably a little bit older, but she's not going around saying she met dead people. Oh, I met Gamal Nasser from Egypt. Oh, I met, I don't know, this German, the Chancellor of Germany from 1990. I met this guy. I'm like, okay, yeah, it's time for America to really consider the fact of what is this morally right? Now, the average leftist will say, well, do you think backing Trump is morally right? Well, it depends on what your morals are. It really depends. It depends on what your morals and what they stand for. Because, like abortion, that's a pro-Democrat moral for sure. I'm trying to find Biden's approval as he clearly begins to sink. Like overall job approval. So that's what I was saying about morals. Morals, it depends. Like in many conservative families, having a great relationship with God is a big moral. And in many liberal progressive families, it's more, I would say, it's more being a good person, social justice wise, something like that, donating, helping the poor. And yeah, that's a Christian thing too, guys. The thing is, liberals say Trump Republicans never help the poor. They're too good for the poor. Well, I think that's a very, very dangerous way to think of that way. I think Trump Republicans, they help the poor in different ways. The Democrats, they need to kneel down and they need to start shedding out money. I think Republicans, they help the poor in a religious way. They pray for the poor. Yes, and and many of these conservatives go to church, and you see all these churches are so successful of donating, sending donations to help for charity. They will send some mission to Haiti. That wouldn't be a thing if Trump Republicans didn't donate. churches wouldn't be so successful with their donations and their missions when it comes to helping the poor. So something really to consider about. Yes, Democrats are very projected, very upgoing about supporting the poor. They're emotional. Now, MAGA Republicans, as they would like to call it, are not emotional. They are more rational. They're more critical. They're more logical. Does it make sense to give someone my money? You need to study the situation. Like, that's what you kind of need to do. I grew up in a family that supporting the poor is a thing to do. Give money, and you give money if you see someone on the street. But I'm also, that time is you gotta use your judgment. Because sometimes there's people that will take advantage of their race or their condition to bribe and get money. And you can kind of tell. And this is not oh, you're racist. I know a lot of liberals will interpret it that. It's not. It really isn't. And believe me, I met a lot of moderates that think that way too. And they're anti-racist and all that stuff. But the thing is, they have to make sure they're safe. Should I engage in a conversation with these people? Heck, we can't even own a gun in the most criminal, crooked era in history. But I'm losing, getting off subject, but we're going to take a look at Biden's approval. He's seeping down. Updated approval. You'll see Biden's overall job approval is 16.62%. It is gotten lower. It's actually back down at 39.9% as of June 10th, 2024. Think about it, guys. 39% of people approve Joe Biden. Can you win an election with 39% of the popular vote? According to RFK Jr., you can. But there has been many elections where you can win elections, like the 1990 elections were a great example. But that's an example, but 39%, that's if RFK performs well. Stealing Trump and Biden votes and he starts winning states. More so winning counties, winning communities around America. But you think about it, 39%. I want to know Trump's approval rating. Trump's approval rating today was 42.1%. 42.1%. Wow. Wow, and this was during COVID. Oh, actually, let me change that. That's during George Floyd, the George Floydification of America, the BLM rioters. And you'll see, yes, his approval rating plummeted down. That's, oh yeah, this is because of January 6th, sadly. But hey, guys, Joe Biden was that unpopular. He's basically where Trump was after January 6th. He's basically where Trump is. But don't tell the Democrats that. That might result to another conviction. You see what they do? You see what they do? They can't they knew they screwed up. They knew they screwed up. But they don't want to admit they screwed up. They don't want to fix the problem. Instead, they want to hide it. I know you're embarrassed. But the truth is, these people don't think they need to work. Because in reality, this is how the Democrat thinks. This is what the Biden administration thinks. Why should we listen to the American people and follow up with our promises? The American people have no choice but to reelect us because Trump and the Republicans are fascists and they are a threat to democracy. So really, we're the sole legitimate political party in America. And we can do whatever we want. And if you really love your democracy so much, you would vote for us. This is how they think. We don't need to do this. We don't need to worry about crime. We don't really need to do that. We don't need to fulfill about our promises. No Green New Deal. No George Floydification. No this, no that, no this. We're just going to sit here and let Joe Biden stumble and bumble. We got this. It's fine. And the country's falling apart. And they tell us, go and save our democracy. Why should we go out and vote for you so you can continue to benefit while we rot? We rot here. Why should we continue to give you money, continue to give you support, make sure you contain your power? This is what dictators do, guys. Have dictators ever done something good for the people? Heck, if I listed one reason of what Hitler did, what good did Hitler do for the people? I would be off this channel. I would be off YouTube. I'll be canceled. But to be honest, I don't think there was anything. If anything, dictators humiliate the country. They demonize the country. Why do you think Germany banned the swastika? You can't even Google the swastika in Germany. You can't even do that. If you Google it, the government, which is bigger than our government, they will know. And I can guarantee you, they will put a tracker on you. Just because you want to take a swastika to insert the flag of Nazi Germany to insert in your history project. Ridiculous. You can't even do a history project. You gotta tiptoe around seriously. I know. That's how, and Germany knows. That's how bad Germany was demonized. And they're like, oh, we better do something so we don't get demonized anymore. And they get rid of Horse Whistle Light, which is the national anthem of the Nazi party. Am I saying it should be legalized? No. I'm not even saying it should be or if it shouldn't. I'm just pointing out their disparity. Or they're desperate. But you get what I'm saying. This is what authoritarians do. So, I was talking about dictatorships and applying it to our government. And I was saying how the Biden administration, for not taking accountability for their actions and their promises they ultimately made for the American people, because believe it or not, I would say Biden won because of anti-Trump. That was mostly why. Because there was a mixture of anti-Trump vote. Then there's people that are annoyed with Trump. And then there are just people that just want to be done with the drama and the whining about Trump. So they're like, okay, I'm just going to vote for Biden and let Trump go away. But did he go away? No, he didn't. No, and they realized, oh, wait, they're still crying over him. They're still crying over this guy who's a private U.S. citizen now. And now he's a convicted criminal. They're going after this guy. And they realize that, oh, actually, you guys are the bad guys. Duh! What did Donald Trump do to deserve all of this? He went down an escalator. Escalators are now racist. Oh no! Yeah, this is pretty much. I can guarantee you. Imagine the Democrats will be like, "We're never gonna go on that escalator back at Trump Tower in New York. We're never going to go on that escalator because Donald Trump went down that escalator. We gotta go away." This is how much they hate this guy. Come on. This is TDS. This is a mental illness. And when we start treating it like a mental illness, it will get better. And part of this, I have to be honest with you, as someone who is religious, and for someone, if you guys are religious or not, but part of this is supernatural. It is. Do you believe in Satan? Do you? We know Satan exists, right? We don't believe and support him. Hopefully, we don't. But we acknowledge he exists. We acknowledge that his demon and his demons and his minions exist. And these minions and these demons of his can influence and control a lot of these anti-Trumpers. I mean, I looked through a lot of profiles on social media, and all I see, I scroll down, I click on one anti-Trumper's profile, I scroll down, and all I see is these drawings, propaganda about Trump. Keep scrolling down. It's nothing about that person's life, or going to the beach or something. It's not being with family. No. What's the point? Do you think we want to see your anti-Trump crud? Do you think your friends want, and you go and see the comments on the post? Absolutely nobody. Nobody. No one is even commenting. No one's even liking, because this person's having a fit. Then again, I think this guy doesn't have peace. These people don't have peace. These people are not happy because the demon inside of them, they're causing them to be unhappy and to tear that person apart because of one man, Donald J. Trump. So we can obviously recognize this is demonic, right? I can identify, I have friends that don't like Trump, and I have friends that really don't like Trump. But none of those friends of mine sit there, and that's the only thing they talk about. That's the only thing they post about. And that's the only thing they draw on their little notebook. That's not the only thing they have pictures of the content they have in their room. You actually walk into these people's lives, you will see how unhappy they are. They'll say, "Oh, I'm just fine in Bidenomics and Build Back Better America," but they're not. They really aren't. Let's be honest, this is more than TDS. I know we like to make that joke. It's not a joke, it's real, but TDS, I think it's TDS, but I also think it's a demonic attack. Let's be honest. These people, they've gone a long way down stream. But anyway, what are your thoughts? Before we end this video, we're going to talk about the possibility of Biden getting replaced. Well, what happens if Biden gets replaced? Well, I would suspect that Republicans would have a much harder time. You'll see Fox News has already released a story. Will Democrats move to replace Biden before the convention? The Democrats are going to replace Biden. Democrats will replace Biden if he bombs the Trump debate. Oh, here. Christie's literally giving advice to Democrats. Wow. Kristi Kreme, come on. He says, replace Biden. Okay, yeah. I think they know that. I think as much we think how they're dumb, as we know how dumb they are, I think they know that this guy's incompetent. Thanks for pointing out the obvious, Kristi Kreme. But anyway, as I was saying, yeah, more and more we're seeing more of these posts. Like we got one from Fox News 25 minutes ago saying that the Democrats are going to replace Biden. Quote from Tommy Lahren. The Democrats are going to replace Biden. Will they? Well, I think it was a waste of money. I mean, I think Joe Biden ran the primary thinking I don't even think he knew he was running for president. I don't even think he knows he won all 50 states. He just does what he's told. Go over there. They say jump high, and he goes how high? Like, why do they ask? He doesn't even think about the obvious quote response. Why should I jump high? Like, what if you're like in a little room? Jump high. Goes and bonks his head. You'll still do it. Kind of not put the puzzle piece together, but as I was saying, this guy, yes. And I not at all am pleased with Joe Biden's cognitive decline. Absolutely not. I think it's sad. But I'm also frustrated and angry that Democrats really didn't consider that. I'm also angry that he himself didn't think about that in 2020 or 2019. I think that was when he announced his run, when he said, I'm running for president. Okay. And we got the news that he had dementia. He should have withdrew, but instead he stayed because at the time he was mentally okay. He was mentally well. He was talking. He was energetic. 4 years later, Joe Biden, you can't even understand him. This guy, he sounds like he's suffocating. He's like, okay. Like you can hear him breathing. He's gasping for air. This is sad. This is elder abuse. You don't send someone like that around the country. You don't send that person around the world to start wars with Putin and Iran. No. And if we do end up with a war with them, this is the guy who's going to lead us to war. No. Common sense, guys. This isn't okay. So this is what I am praying for. The average American, most Americans. Americans need to sit down and think logically. Okay, what am I doing with Joe Biden here? Am I successful? Am I a successful individual? Am I getting things done? Am I meeting my expectations with Joe Biden as my president? If not, then look to Trump. Was I successful under the 4 years of Donald J. Trump? If you don't know, and if you do say no, I encourage you to think more. And think rationally. Maybe you don't like the fact that Donald Trump didn't like the results of 2020. Maybe that's what's stopping you from voting for him. But think about it. Pause and think. But that's why you should vote for him, right? So that doesn't happen again. So we don't have another Stop the Steal, right? Because I'll tell you, guys, that was a difficult time because we were divided. Our families were divided. And that affected our whole entire country. It affected the American people the most. Not President Trump, not President Biden. It affected the people of America. It affected everyone and their relationships with each other. So here's my recommendation. Let Trump have his 4 more years. If you don't like Trump, let him have his 4 more years so we don't have to go through this again. The Democrats are saying, another January 6th. Dude, they're so stupid. Stupid. Because you're basically saying, go out and vote for Trump. Because we know a lot of his supporters, a lot of Trump Republicans, they're different. They have different temperances. And I'm not saying they went out and stormed the Capitol on purpose. I'm not necessarily going after them. But people are unpredictable, right? So the Democrats and Whoopi Goldberg calling, oh, there's going to be another insurrection if he wins. Nope. You're basically saying there's going to be another insurrection if he loses. Guess what? That's basically telling us to go vote for Trump. Yes, that comment was supposed to antagonize Trump, but what you accidentally meant was, Whoopi, you're right. Maybe there are going to be some Trump supporters that will go enter the Capitol again. That's why I'm going to vote for Trump. Let Trump have his 4 more years so that doesn't happen. Oh, I'm just, this is, that's not what I meant. Well, think that logic. If the left gets mad, I don't think the left will care. The left cares more about Gazans than they care about Joe Biden. Now, I'm not saying that's a bad thing. We should all pray for the Gazan people. We should all pray to end. We should all pray for the Israeli and Palestinian people. An end to violence and war. But what I'm saying is the left is occupied with something else. If Trump's going to win, I think they're going to be mad about it. They're going to pout about it, but they're not going to go out and throw grenades. Electing Trump's the more peaceful way. It's the more peaceful than electing Joe Biden. And am I saying that the right is going to go on the offensive, or if Trump Republicans are going to be the bad guys? No. I'm saying it's going to be unpredictable. And I'm saying that the word unpredictable because it's not just because the reaction of the results. It's going to be, now what? We have to put up with 83-year-old Joe Biden for 4 more years. He's going to be 88. And he's going to die. He is going to die. I am not kidding, guys. He's going to die fast when you send him around the country every day, licking ice cream to cool him down. But he goes around the country, around the world. These are signs. He's given us signs that he can't do it. And supposedly, this is the Holy Spirit telling us, look at your brother. I call him your brother because we are sons and daughters of the Lord. Aren't we all? Look at your son. Look at your brother. And maybe voting for Trump for you is just the most hardest thing. Well, if you don't want to vote for Trump, that's fine. We live in a democracy. You don't have to vote for Trump, but I will have a problem if you vote for Biden. Because I know you're not meaning to, but you're basically hitting this man. You're hitting an old man. You're beating him up. And he doesn't even know why. You're abusing him. Don't take a part of the abuse. Let him rest. Joe Biden is at the end of his string. This is it. Let's pray that he has a calm rest of his life. He does not have long. He does not have much time left on Earth. So what do you guys think? Let me know down in the comments, and as always, I will see you all in the next political episode.